let's start off offensively. Storyline of the day has got to be Garrett Nussmeier and those receivers and what they did offensively, not only throwing the football around, but what they did just from start to finish. LSU started off in the red zone, and it was something that you and I talked about pretty frequently, and you pushed back on. Now you got to see it. I do think that red zone is a place where LSU has got to get better at throwing the football. Let me explain. First play of the spring game in the red zone today was a pass breakup, swat down on a blitz from Major Burns in that star position. Guys, Major Burns made 3 stops today from that star position, being at the line of scrimmage. It is something that I like from him, but from the first play, they run that slot corner blitz or slot safety blitz, and it was a pass breakup. Williams has a run for 5, Taylor for 6, a power sweep. We'll come back to that when we get to more of the team stuff. Kaleb Jackson goes for 4 and a first down, Anderson for 4, but Nuss on third down, 3rd and goal, misses Hilton in the back of the end zone. They turn it over. So, look, Nuss did not miss a lot of passes today. Actually, technically didn't miss any passes in the team drill today. But he did miss 2 in the red zone. So, again, both of them being either pistol situations, under center, he's got to get better there. Here's what I do like. LSU ran a lot of 12 personnel, 2 tight ends coming into the game. Mason Taylor along with McMarkway. Both guys looked really good on the inline blocking. So I like that a lot. Oh, yes. I forgot to say that. Okay. Everybody do us a favor. Yeah, I did forget to say it. Everyone do us a favor by hitting the like and share. If you're on Facebook, share to all those groups, share to all those social media pages. You're watching us, listening to us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, notification bell wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate, review, and subscribe. Yes. Share, and hit that like button if you're on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you are listening from today. Second team, inside zone to Malachi Lane. Bad throw by Collins to Sampson in the back of the end zone. Pimpton broke a tackle for 13, but they didn't give him the first down. I think it was just a scripted scenario. Collins missed Sampson in the back of the end zone. So 2 drives by your first and second team. You have no touchdowns. Okay, it is what it is. I mean, you're starting from your own 20. You're running about 5 plays. I don't think that that's fair for the offense. The third drive, though, for this offense in the red zone, the first play that they ran out of was 12 personnel. And what 12 personnel is, just in case you don't know, is 2 tight ends. Shotgun 12 personnel. It was a counter sweep where a lot of times where you saw your tackle in Will Campbell pulling and getting to that second level. The first play was Caleb Williams going to the end zone. Or Kaleb Jackson, going to the end zone untouched. So this is somewhat what we've seen a lot all spring, the pushing around of this defense. Getting an athletic guy like Will Campbell out into space is always going to be a big deal. Always going to be a big deal. It was today, as the first one that you had in the third team red zone period was it Caleb Williams. I mean, it was a Josh Williams. I keep saying Kaleb Jackson. I keep mixing them up. Excuse me. Was a Josh Williams touchdown. Let me erase all of that. Was a Josh Williams touchdown. Then you turn right around. You put the ball back at the 15. P.J. Woodland has a pass breakup on Kyren Lacy. He looked pretty decent today. So another freshman that has stood up. Guys, he hasn't been here 2 months. Barely 2 months, and he's already running with the ones, is the freshman from Hattiesburg. He had a pretty decent day. You had an inside zone run by Williams for 2 yards. You go back to 12 personnel, and you were unable to get any yardage out of that. They went under center, the bootleg action from Garrett Nussmeier. Savion Jones was in Garrett Nussmeier's face. He throws it away. And then he misses Hilton in the back of the end zone. And then the red zone period was over. Let's continue offensively because we got to get to this team. On the first drive, I thought, and really every drive, offensively, you physically dominated from the line of scrimmage to the wide receivers to the quarterback decision-making to everything around. You dominated today. Anderson had a quick hitch for 11. Williams runs for 10 yards. Greg Penn missed a tackle, had a broken tackle, was Williams on Greg Penn. A fade route to Hilton down the red zone, or down by the end zone, excuse me. It was missed, barely missed, was that. But the fade route where it was off his hands, it was a flag that it was offside on LSU defensively. So Garrett knew it was the defense jumped off. He threw the fade route to Hilton, and they were unable to complete. Taylor goes for 5 yards on a quick stick route, and then Xavier Thomas for the 40 to 35-plus yard touchdown on the busted coverage by what appeared to be Sage Ryan. I mean, he was the only one in the area. I assumed he was the one. Let's start with that drive right there. Guys, they came out throwing the football all over the place. And I like that. I like that Aaron Anderson got a quick hitch. But the thing is, that's really interesting. Did you notice today how quickly in the first team they were rotating wide receivers? Outside of Kyren Lacy, guys, they were rotating a lot of dudes in there. That is why Xavier Thomas comes in with the first team and has that touchdown. But you rotated a lot. You had 1 run, 4 passes, and you get a touchdown. Collins comes in. You have to punt on 7 plays. You're unable to move the football. We'll talk about this defensively. I thought that the second-team defense was a lot better than the second-team offense, and it wasn't even remotely close. But there was nothing really that happened in the second drive with Collins that really stood out to me. The only thing that stood out to me was defensively. And Kylen Jackson, which we'll talk about in just a moment, okay? Third drive. So the first team comes back in and with Nuss, and Kyren Lacy goes for 35. Let's stop right there. Guys, he's been the best player this spring. I mean, Kyren Lacy, for whatever it's worth, I mean, I understand that he had drops last season. He had him in 22. Guys, he's been the best player on the field. And I think for all the talk that we've had about Kyren Lacy, all of it, it showed itself today in the spring game. His first catch of the day was a 35-yard bomb by Nussmeier that he beat in zone coverage, where he runs more or looked like a dig route. I'd have to go back on film and look at it, but he runs a dig, but he, instead of going to the sideline, he squats down because nobody is remotely around him, so then he has area to work. He gets the catch. He goes for 35. Williams goes for 4. You have a screen pass on the very next play. So a motion by Aaron Anderson, and you have a screen, and Harold Perkins comes like a bat out of hell and gets a TFL. And then 3rd and 8. Here's the big play. Here was the biggest play of the day for me. I know that Nuss had a 75-yard bomb. I get it. But Kaleb Jackson on 3rd and 8 in a counter run play, Kaleb Jackson goes for 35, 40-ish and a touchdown. Guys, the interior of your defensive line is not good. Again, we'll get to them in just a moment, but this offensive line is physically dominating from start to finish. And when I look at them, guys, you're going to, on Monday, you better relentlessly hit the portal. It's not good, and it's not just one person. It's not just one person that's in there that's not doing good. Guys, when you're 3rd and 8 and Kaleb Jackson on a counter run does not get touched, shades of Florida and Ty Davis Price today. Right? Like, I mean, shades of TDP. It's exactly what we've seen all spring. It's not good enough. You are not going to be good enough and go where you need to go if that continues to happen. Secondly, since we're talking offensively, guys, Kaleb Jackson's a freaking dude, man. He is a freaking stud. I cannot say enough about him. I think that there's going to be so much hype going into the season with him, and good on it, because he deserves all of it. He's going to be a load to stop. He is a physical runner, but once he gets going and once he turns on the Jets, you will not catch him. So 3rd and 8, Joe Sloan decides to give it to the running back, and they score. 4th, you go to Swan. Guys, I thought A.J. Swan had one good drive. Look, he didn't do much. He had a swing pass to Nichols for 30 yards. Jair Brown has a PBU on Sampson, who they tried to feed the ball to today. Joe Sloan tried to get Shelton Sampson involved. He couldn't make enough plays. He goes to Nichols for 4. He misses a fade route to C.J. Daniels. And then on a 3rd down, Kylen Jackson gets a sack. So both quarterbacks in the first half, they looked okay. They looked moderate. I mean, nothing. I thought Ricky won the day, if I'm being honest. But neither one of them were productive enough. And God bless it. I don't know if that's remotely on them solely, but I will say that we saw Collins with the first team, and it was not remotely the same or close. And you look at a guy like Ricky Collins and say, look, man, you might have to wait for him to continue to progress. And you did the same thing for Nussmeier, and look how it's paying off. Look how it's paying off. So, yeah. I only charted going through halftime because of the running clock. They didn't do much after half. But Collins comes back in. He comes in with the first team. He gets sacked. Jackson rushes for 9. Pimpton goes for 9. Kylen Jackson has another sack. So you have back-to-back drives where you have, in that star position, Kylen Jackson coming in on a blitz and getting a sack. Big-time day for 23. Big-time day for 23. You get a rush for no gain, and then a ball is batted down, and you are unable to convert on 4th down. Collins comes back out for the first team. Nothing happens. He gets a scramble for no gain, a catch by Williams for 3, and a rush by Williams for 3. On 4th and 7, they go for it, and Ashton Stamps has a PBU on Kyren Lacy, and that would pretty much be your half. So here's what I think about the offense as a whole as we look at them through the spring game, or especially just through the first half. Garrett Nussmeier was very efficient. They did a lot of the same stuff that they did in that bowl game, and you're not necessarily or completely missing I think, a beat right now from the passing game. I do think that they are doing different things in the running game, and he's got to get better under center at times. Other than that, and like we've talked about all spring, look, they've been efficient. They've been highly efficient. I've never been worried about them offensively because of what your O-line looks like. Secondly, guys, this might be the best offensive line not only in the country or not only in the SEC, it might be the country. Guys, you might make an argument as we go into the season and we go through the season, they might be the best offensive line that we've ever had here. That's how good that they look right now. Let's see if they can continue to put things together, but they dominated today. I mean, I love some of the schematical stuff that Joe Sloan did today, specifically with the counter buck sweep type actions, with pulling your guard and tackle and doing a pull and pin and making yourself a crease, because you have two very athletic offensive linemen, and Dellinger getting to the second level and Will Campbell getting to the second level. And guys, when you needed it most, that running game destroyed the interior of that offensive line. Thought DJ Chester was fantastic today. You didn't notice a snap being off. I think he made some right calls on a pressure or two. That unit, man, that unit is looking better than anything. And when you can run the ball that effectively, you will be dangerous. You will be highly dangerous. I thought the running backs looked good. I thought Williams and Jackson looked really good. Thought Malachi Lane gave you some good reps. But look, even you have Caden Durham coming in. God forbid if Trey Holly comes back. I think your running game is going to be fine, if I'm being honest. Now, I don't think that you're going to play an interior defensive line that's that bad every week. But as this continues to go on and as spring is over with, the biggest unit that won was the running backs and the offensive line. You pretty much knew what what Garrett Nussmeier would give you, and he did. But this offensive line, from the first time that they strapped up that helmet to the end of the snap in this spring game, they dominated. And good on them.